Okay, today we're going to be making a Mandala Craft. The first thing that we're going to need is we're going to need a craft board. You can use a tiny canvas, you can use a piece of hard board, you can use anything in whatever size you feel like doing. It can be small. We're going to start with a small. It's about a 4x4 square. Okay, so then we're going to take some apple barrel black paint. And we're going to paint the entire surface of this black. So for starters, we're going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to place it on a piece of white paper. And then I'm going to get a paintbrush. And I'm going to open the black paint. And I'm going to paint it all black. So I'm going to use a small paintbrush. Maybe I should use a little one, a little bit bigger than this one. Let me see what I have. Okay, Okay, so now that we have our white paper and we have our craft board and our paintbrush, we're going to get a little bit of this apple barrel black paint and we're going to paint the board. So I'm going to paint the board, which you want to make sure you get a nice. Okay, so as you can see, I have painted my square. I'm finishing it up here. So I'm painting it all along. Kind of making sure I got it nice and covered. And then I'm going to wait for that to dry. And then step 1 will be complete. Okay, so now we're going to take our ruler and we're going to measure to find the center, which I've kind of already pointed it out. Just take and find the center there, then crisscross it, and find the center. Make sure that's where you want it. Make your mark. And there you go. So then you have your very middle of your square, which is your starting point. Okay, so I'm going to move that over here, and I'm going to show you some of the things you're going to need. You're going to pick out 3 to 4, maybe 5 different colors, and you're going to pick out your white. So I'm going to use Snow White. I'm going to use a red apple, a jack-o'-lantern orange, and then I'm going to pick a fun yellow. So those are going to be my colors for right now. Okay, so then I'm going to find my tool. So I'm going to use a sharpened pencil. So this part will be one of my points for making a fine little point. The other end I'll be using to make a larger dot. And then I'm going to take these little Q-tips, and I'm going to make sure that you're using Q-tips that are made of cardboard, not the ones with the plastic. And you're going to take and peel off. For the first one, you're going to... Okay, so now I'm going to take my Q-tip and the white apple barrel paint. I'm going to open the paint. I'm going to take the first Q-tip and I'm going to peel off most of this fluff and put that to the side, because I'm going to make a different size like paint dauber. But once I peel all that off, I have to seal it with a little bit of paint. So I'm going to take a little bit of white paint. And I've got it to like that. Kind of spin it, dip it in the white paint a little, and then kind of go around just to seal it. And then I've got another pokey end. Alright, so the next side, I'm going to use bigger, I'm just going to leave the cotton swab stuff on there, and I'm just going to take and kind of generously dab it and kind of squish it down a little bit. Alright, until you get it the way you want it. Just about like so. So now you've got your teeny tiny end, you've got your bigger end, a medium size, and then kind of an in between. And if you want to do others, you can. Like if you wanted to take a Q-tip and just take off part of the fluff, you can do that to make another size. And then you just take some more paint, fluff it down, and do that. All right, and that's that part. Okay. Okay, so now we're ready to start with our first dot. So I'm going to take the end of the pencil and I'm going to dip it in the paint just a little bit. And since I'm only going to make one dot with this paint, I'm just dipping it right in there. Kind of got a lot, so I'm going to wipe a little off. Alright, then I'm just going to go to right in the center. I'm going to put a dot. And if your dot doesn't turn out the way you want the first time, you can always go back over it. Okay, but then I also have a wet cloth over here that I'm just gonna wipe this off with. You're just gonna wipe your tools off as you go, because they'll dry and then you can just put another paint color over the top. Alright, so first I have my red dot. And if you really want to get fancy about it, you can also take a paintbrush and kind of touch up your dot a little bit. But you can also go back over them at the end, okay? So that's our first dot. Then I'm going to go to another color. So I'm going to pick orange this time. And with the orange, okay, so next I'm gonna dip white and I'm gonna go in between. So I'm gonna go in between those little dots. Sometimes you have to refresh your paint and sometimes you don't. All right, so then I'm gonna go a step up and I'm gonna go with red. I'm gonna put a dot in between those dots. I'm gonna go here and here. And if your dot's not dark enough, you can always go in between. Or if it's not light enough. Okay, so essentially you should have a red dot in between each one of the white dots all the way around. Then Get a different color or different size. And I'm going to go back with orange. These are going to be real tiny. And I might add some more in between. Kind of darkening them up a little bit. All right. And then I think I'm going to do an orange at the tip of each red one. Yikes. And kind of give them little spindles. All right. Then I'm going to go to my yellow, and I'm going to put a bigger dot of yellow in between each one of these. Just getting my spacing here. I'm gonna go back over them because I didn't get enough paint on some of them. All right, and I think I'm gonna fill in a little of my orange. Because my orange it's not as bright as I wanted it to be. Some of the areas. And if you mess up, you can always just paint over it or start again. Make your dot a little bigger if you need to. All right. So the next one I'm gonna do will be white. So I'm gonna take actually gonna go smaller. I'm gonna do a white. And white's a color that really pops on the black, so you're gonna see it a lot. I'm gonna draw the eye. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go around the outside of the yellow with a bigger dot. And you can do these all different kinds of ways. You can add a dot at the end. You can add some dots in the corners. Ooh. Okay, so I've got that there. And then I'm gonna probably go in between those with an orange. I'm gonna do this color orange. All right. Go in between those. And you can make your guides however you want. You can freehand them. You can do them in a specific way. You can get variations of designs. I'm starting to get close to the edge, so I'm going to go in between those with another white. And all right. And then I'm probably going to do a smaller white at the tip of the orange. I don't think I'm going to do anything in the corners of this one because I'm getting closer to the edge. And voila! There is my dot mandala. So here's another example of a design that you can try. You can start with the bigger circle in the middle and then kind of get small and then spiral it out. That's one option that you can try. This was done with a mixture of, you can see kind of a purple, a dark teal, an aqua, and a white. So that kind of gives you an idea of some different color designs that you can try. Get creative with it.